Okay, Rabotai, welcome to another shiur of our Wednesday night class from the congregation L'Shem Yichud, Kurchab Rechud Shchinde. This shiur is L'Rufuat Shlemat Gabriel Moshe Chaim Ben Leah. May Hashem bless him. He's a part of our community. May Hashem bless him with Rufuat Shlema. May he get up from his sick bed. May we see him once again healthy and vibrant. This shiur is also Rufuat Shlema Daniel Ben Sarah. Daniel Ben Sarah is another one of our community who's going through a very hard time. He has a very rare condition. May Hashem send him Rufuat Shlema. Torko Chorei Amo Yisrael, and may he get over his sickness. May Hashem make him a miracle. He's a very rare condition. This shiur is also mukdash to all the people who want to get married. May Hashem bless them to find their bnei zug. May Hashem bless them to makim bait ne'aman b'Yisrael, to be mekayem mitzvat pirya v'rivya. That's the most important thing, guys. We're getting married. There's only one posek in the whole world. One posek. Maybe you guys could guess who says actually getting married is when you take the ring and put it on the girl's hand and say Hariyat Mikudesh Sheli, you're doing a mitzvah. There's only one Rishon who says that. Who's that? The Rambam. That's it. Rambam says the actual act of Kiddushin is a mitzvah. Understand? All the other poskim they say no. The act of Kiddushin is just a way to be mekayim the mitzvah of Peru or who? Having children at what time? Because children are the main happiness in this world. What did Hashem tell Abraham Avinu? I chose Abraham because I know leman yitzaveh et banav. He will command his kids to go in my way. Chinuch Hiladim is what the Jewish people have been the most sought after nation for. We're the best in chinuch, the best. Just a small little thing that I heard today. I want to repeat it to you because I think you guys will enjoy it because we're more of a Bukhari and Russian crowd, whatever the case is. Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef, the Rishon Tzion, the son of Rav Ovadia Yosef. He's the chief rabbi in Israel right now. He once went on not long ago. He was in a meeting in Russia, and he said the prime minister of Russia wants to meet you. Who's the prime minister? Putin. Vladimir Putin. I want to meet, so the Rabbi said, I thought that he's going to come meet me, give me a couple of nods, I'm going to say hello, shake hands, take a couple of pictures, that's it. So he says, the meeting took an hour and a half. What were they talking to in an hour and a half? Thank you. Vladimir Putin, a goy, ex-KGB. He's known to be, there's a list of the richest people in the world. He's not on that list, but everybody knows who's the richest person in the world. Over $200 billion he's worth. Yeah, over $200 billion. He keeps on re-electing himself as Prime Minister of Russia. This guy sits down with the chief rabbi of Israel, the son of Rav Ovadia Yosef, Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef. What is he talking about? Chinuch. How come the Romans... He's saying this. I can send you guys a video. How come the Romans? Putin is saying during like this. How come the Romans, the Greeks, the Egyptians, the Babylonians, they were all great civilizations, right? They're gone. Their way of life is gone. We don't know how they lived really, only from books, but their way of life is gone. The only nation whose way of life still exists in this world, in the past 3,000 years, which nation? The Jewish people. How did you guys get over here? And then Vladimir Putin tells Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef, I'm going to answer you the question myself. He says, the only reason the Jewish people have survived this long is because they have one thing. Rabbis. Even a goy realizes, some Jews don't even realize that. Some Jews. The Rabbanim. Which Rabbanim, guys? Not the Rabbanim who sit on the podium and wait for people to come to them. The Rabbanim who go to the people and teach them Torah. Teach them Kriyat Shema. Once Rav Ovadia Yosef, while he was alive, he said an amazing dream he once had. He only said a couple of dreams he had in his life. The Gemara says that a person shouldn't believe in dreams. Don't get crazy with dreams. Because most dreams are fake. The Gemara, Rav says that once he had a dream that he saw Mashiach. He saw Mashiach Tzidkenu. Did you guys know that Mashiach doesn't know that he's Mashiach? Did you know that? One of the signs that Mashiach is Mashiach if he doesn't say that he's Mashiach. The rabbis have to tell him that he's Mashiach. Yeah, did you know that? Mashiach doesn't know he's Mashiach. He's walking around within us. He doesn't know he's Mashiach. Yeah. No, he doesn't know he's Mashiach. Yes. He thinks he's not Mashiach. He could be Ashkenazi, Sfaradi, Chasidski, anything. Bukharski too, why not? Listen, the Bukharian people never were Zochet to Gedol Hador. Maybe our Gedol Hador is going to be Mashiach, who knows? Bezat Hashem. Maybe it's going to be Navainsky. Mashiach is Mashiach. He doesn't know he's Mashiach. He sees Mashiach in his dream standing by the Kotel HaMa'aravi, the western wall, the Wailing Wall. And what does he tell him? Wadia tells him it was recorded in his shiur. He said you could see this, you could Google it. He tells him in the dream, Mashiach, when are you going to come? When are you going to come? He says, when 1 million kids, Jewish boys, know how to say Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, going to come. Because how are they going to come? Who's going to teach them Shema Yisrael? Because the rabbis have to close their Gemarot, close their Mishnayot, their Chumashim, Mekubalim, it's Hayim, everything, Otzrot Hayim, everything, Mavosh Ha'arim, Sidurei HaRashav, Petach Hainayim, everything, close everything, and spend 1-2 hours a day knocking on people's doors. Do you want me to teach your kids Torah? Your kids. Why kids? How come not the elders? Chinuch. The chinuch starts from a young age. When 1 million kids will know how to say Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, that's when Mashiach is going to come. Till today, 1 million kids in Israel don't know how to say Shema Yisrael. They don't know how to say. And who's at fault? Unfortunately, the rabbis. The rabbis. Because they're nitpasim. They are caught ba'avon ador. When Hashem wants to blame anybody, who does he blame? He blames the heads. He doesn't blame the people. He doesn't blame the people. When Hashem came to complain to Moshe Rabbeinu, who did he blame? Moshe, Aharon, Chur. He blamed them. They're the heads. You have to do much better. But we see one thing from here. To be Gedol B'Torah is not special in the eyes of Hashem. I once read a story from Rabbi Yehuda Ptayeh. He said over there, one big rabbi, he didn't want to write his name in his book. After he died, he went to Shamayim. He knew all the Shas by heart, Gemara, Poskim. What did they tell him? You're going back in a Gilgul. They're going back to a Gilgul. Did you guys know one thing? That to go back in a Gilgul is worse than Gehenom. We are here in the Gilgul, in the reincarnation, because we were found to be unworthy. Unworthy to going into Gehenom. Do you know that?
I thought it's our choice, though. No?
It's not our choice. It's not our choice. We were found to be unworthy to go into Gehenom. Because you go into Gehenom, you're there for 12 months. That's it. 12 months, you're done with Gehenom. There's no kind of thing Gehenom for more than 12 months unless you go to the 7th level. If you go to the 7th level, then you go inside and you don't come out.
But when they say 12 months, there is no time there. We only live in
there
a
is
bracket
time.
of time.
Hashem sets a time.
Oh.
Okay? Don't worry about it. Hashem could set a time.
What are you so worried about?
We have to hope that our Gehenom is going to be very little. Some people go to Gehenom for a couple of seconds. Some people go to Gehenom for a year. Not for years, for 12 months. That's why when we say Kaddish, we say Kaddish only for 11. There's different minhagim. Some say for 11 months, then the last week. Some say 11 months, 3 weeks, and then they don't say the last week. There's different minhagim. Bukharians have a different minhag. Iraqis have a different minhag. The point is, we don't want to say the whole 12 months because we don't want to show that our parents, our ancestors were Rishayim. We don't want to show that. But we, in a Gilgul, we have to understand one thing. We don't want to come back down here. No neshama wants to come back into a Gilgul. None of them. Sometimes, even teshuvah, we do teshuvah in this world, it's not enough from stopping us to go back into a gilgul. Why? That's our lecture for today. How come sometimes teshuvah doesn't work? The Gemara says, a person who does, Rav Matya ben Harash, who was a big rabbi, big Tana, he was a very special rabbi. Why was he a special rabbi? He specifically went into Chutz La'aretz, he went to Rome, specifically to teach Torah to Jews over there. He didn't stay in Israel. There were some rabbis, when they used to leave Eretz Yisrael, you listening? They used to look, but the Gemara says, they used to look back and used to see Israel. They say, we rather be poor. We rather have nothing, but go back to Israel. We don't want to leave Israel. We want to live in Eretz Yisrael. Rav Matya ben Harash was one of the few who said, I'm going to leave Eretz Yisrael. I'm going to go to Romi Harisha'a. To Rome to teach Torah. There's a lot of Jews over there. And the Gemara says, Rav Matya ben Harash taught 4 things. Whoever does an Avera, he didn't put on tefillin. He didn't say Shema Yisrael on time. You know, we live our lives, we say, you know, what's a very rare mitzvah? Shiluach Haken, let's say. You know what Shiluach Haken is?
Donkey.
To find a, no, that's Peter Hamor.
Bird.
Don't, Hamor and Tzipor is 2 different things.
No, donkey's hard.
Yeah, donkey is hard. Let's say one that we could all do. Shiluach Haken. We see a mother on her nest, we send away the mom, and we take the chicks or the eggs to ourselves. It's a rare mitzvah, right? How much would you pay to do that mitzvah? Some people, I was zocheh, bli ayin hara, Baruch Hashem, to do this mitzvah 3 times in my life. 3 times in my life. I was zocheh. I was zocheh to do this mitzvah. It's a big mitzvah, right? I was so excited. I remember when I did this, I was so excited. But do you know, saying Kiryat Shema bizmana, in its right time, is no less of a mitzvah? Did you know that? To say Shemona Esre bizman tefillah within 4 hours of the day, it's no less of a mitzvah than Shiluach Hakeh. To put on tzitzit. Tzitzit, the Gemara says, one Tana didn't put on tzitzit. Eliyahu Hanavi says, how come you're not putting on tzitzit? I don't have to put on. What do you mean you don't have to put on tzitzit? Put on the tzitzit and you're going to get 613 mitzvah. Why would you put on tzitzit? It's no less of a mitzvah. But whoever doesn't mikayem mitzvat aseh from the Torah, he went over mitzvat aseh from the Torah. Rav Matya ben Harash says, he does teshuvah. Ana Hashem, hatati, aviti, pashati. At that moment, they forgive him. He doesn't move from his spot, they forgive him. Rav Matya ben Harash says. Then Rav Matya ben Harash says in the Gemara, Masechet Yoma, if a person went over a lo ta'aseh, a negative commandment, what does he need? He needs teshuvah and Yom Kippur. Do teshuvah, Ana Hashem is not enough. You also need Yom Kippur. Now let's say you did a karet. A person did, he went over nida. He did nida, God forbid, by mistake. You need teshuvah, Yom Kippurim, and Yisurim. Yisurim is suffering. God is going to make you suffer in your life. Then the Gemara says, now let's say you did Chilul Hashem. What's Chilul Hashem? You desecrated Hashem's name in public. Even Yom Kippur, even Yisurim doesn't help. What do you need? Death. Death. Who said this? Rav Matya ben Harash. One of the greatest Rabbanim. The Gemara, the Midrash said, I'm sorry, it's not a Gemara, it's a Midrash. Rav Matya ben Harash, in his lifetime, he was very careful not to look at a woman. He was so careful, he would only look on the floor or in his Gemara. One day the Satan goes to Hashem Yitbarach and says, let me test him. Hashem said, I give you permission. How could Hashem give permission to test the person? It's not fair. We're going to understand why was it fair.
Oh,
It's not fair, you're saying? We're going to learn why it was fair. The Midrash says that the Satan turned into such a beautiful woman that from the days of Naamah, the sister of Tuval Cain, who was the great-granddaughter of Cain. There wasn't a more beautiful woman like that in the world. Physically. The Satan turned into such a kind of a woman. And she came in front of Rav Matya ben Harash. She came to the front, she came to ask halacha. If I cooked meat in a dairy pot, how do I kosher it? Halacha, listen. How do I kosher that pot? She came, Rav Matya ben Harash looked like this. She came on this side, he looked over there. She came all the way, she was trying to make him look so he could get very excited. Barminan. So what happened? He told his student, go make 2 hot nails. Take 2 nails. How do you say nails? You know when you hammer a nail? Yeah. And you heat it up. Heat it. It becomes hot. And he took them and he stuck it in his eyes. Just so he shouldn't fall on the test. The Satan saw that, he fainted. How could such a person exist? He went up to Shamayim and said, Hashem, I don't know what kind of rabbi you have down there. It's crazy. Hashem sent Raphael HaMalach down. It says, make him Refuah Shlema. Rav Matya ben Harash says, I don't need a Refuah Shlema. I don't want to fall in a test for the rest of my life. Hashem sent Raphael HaMalach back and he told him, I promise. Tell Rav Matya ben Harash, I promise he will never ever be tested in his life. What happened? He made him Refuah Shlema. I heard a similar story in our days. One guy, God forbid, lo aleinu lo aleinu, he got cancer in his throat. And the doctors had the ability to take out the cancer from his throat, bar minan. Lo aleinu lo am Yisrael. And the guy said, leave me like that. He lost his power to speak. He says, I'd rather be mute. Mute means without the power to speak my whole life, because I don't want to have a test of saying Lashon Hara. And he didn't take the medication or whatever it was. There are people like that in our generation. But why was Rav Matya ben Harash tested like that, Rabotai? Why was he tested? Why did Hashem give the permission to the Satan to test him? What, Nietzsche was there? Hashem wants tzaddikim to fall. Same thing with Eov, Rabotai. How come Eov was tested like that? It says over there, Ve'avo b'nei Elohim. The angels came to Hashem, and then Hashem himself looked at Eov, at the Satan, and said to him, this past Tisha B'Av, you're only allowed to learn sad things. One of the sad things you're allowed to learn in Tisha B'Av is Sefer Eov. And Hashem tells the Satan, go test Eov. Why test him? Why test Rav Matya ben Harash? Why, Rabbatai? Torah hi limud ani tzarich. We have to learn this. There was a man. We all know this man. His name was David HaMelech. The greatest man, one of the greatest men to ever live. He had a favorite wife. Who was his favorite wife? No. We think if you meet your soulmate, you're gonna love her, you're gonna be the best with her. That's what you think, right? The Ari says no. Just because she's your soulmate doesn't mean you love her. You should know that. David HaMelech's favorite wife was Michal, the daughter of Shaul HaMelech. He loved her so much, he had a nickname for her. Laram. Nickname. Yeah. What did he call her? Egla. You know what Egla means? How do you say a calf?
Tzion.
Yeah, my little calf, you know? Yeah. He loved Bathsheba, but he didn't love her like he loved Michal. And she wasn't his real Bat-Zug. He loved her the most. When Shaul HaMelech decided to kill David HaMelech ran away, right? So he took Michal and he gave her, instead, she was married to David. He didn't give her a divorce paper, he didn't give her a get. Who did he give her to marry? Without a get. Who did he give her to? Paltiel ben Laish, a man called Paltiel. Bukhari also have that name, right? Paltiel. Yeah, there is a name like that.
Last name is Pantiello.
Not Pantiel, Paltiel. Paltiel, I said. How did Shaul HaMelech have the ability to give a married woman to a different man? Guys, you should know one thing. Hashem gave the power of Kiddushin in the hands of the rabbis. If you're the chief rabbi of the world, which Shaul HaMelech was the chief, he was the king, he has the ability to go to a couple, husband and wife, and say, your marriage is annulled. It's broken. He doesn't need to give a get anymore, nothing. If you're Rosh HaSanhedrin, you have the power to annul a marriage without a get. So Shaul HaMelech went to Michal and says, your marriage is gone. Why? According to Shaul, David was mored b'malchut. He was a revolter. He went against the king, he's chayav mitah. That's what he thought, halachically speaking, so he gave it to Paltiel. The Gemara says, how long was she married to Paltiel? Almost 2 years. Paltiel never touched her. Not even a finger. Yes. He took a sword and he put it between her and him in the bed. And he said, you can't pass this sword. Wow, what a tzaddik. The Gemara said he still sinned. Why? Michal was very beautiful. Very beautiful woman. Even though he never touched her, he enjoyed looking at her. So Hashem sent Paltiel back in a Gilgul. As who? Rav Matya ben Harash. So Hashem wanted to make Paltiel finish his tikkun. Because Rav Matya ben Harash all day is learning Gemara, Mishnah. He's never leaving the Beit. How is he going to get tested? So Hashem said, listen, I got to finish this guy's tikkun over here. Mashiach is going to come. He's still going to be learning Gemara. That's not what I want. So he sent the Satan to test him. So don't think what Hashem does is not fair. It's fair. It's super fair. Do you understand what I'm saying? Eov. Why was Eov tested by Hashem? Why was Eov tested?
They have 1 or 2 tests. We have a million tests.
Eov was tested because he was the Gilgul of Terach. And Terach was with his wife when she was in Nida. To clean Terach's neshama, he had to come back in a Gilgul as Eov.
It's not Torah then, though.
It doesn't matter. Neshamot like those need to go through a cleansing process. They need to go and be clean in a washing machine. When the body suffers, the neshama always also suffers. Because the neshama is connected with the body in this world. When you feel pain, the body is really dead. It doesn't feel anything. It's the neshama that feels something. If you look through binoculars to the Empire State Building, and I ask you, who's looking at the Empire State Building? Your eyes or the binoculars? What are you going to say? You're going to say the eyes, not the binoculars. If you can tell me it's the binoculars that are looking, I'm going to say you're crazy. If I tell you who's looking right now at you, Gabriel, the eyes or the neshama, who's looking? The neshama is looking through the eyes. You understand what I'm saying? So what do we see from here, Rabotai? Now, I want to ask you guys a question. Paltiel ben Lai, he was a tzaddik, no? He put a sword. You think he never did teshuvah? After he sent away Michal, he didn't do teshuvah. How many Yom Kippurs did he go through? How many times did he fast in his life? How many times? Maybe another 50 years? What, Yom Kippur didn't fix all those times he looked at Michal? How come he had to come back in a Gilgul? He said Gilgul is worse than Gehenom. Send him to Gehenom. Why does he have to come to Gilgul? Why does he suffer 70 years? He has to be born. He's born, he has to be a child. After he's a child, he has to be raised by his parents. He has no dot. He has to go to school. He has to go through high school. He has to find a job. He has to find a wife. He has to get married. And he has to then he has to have children himself. And he has to pay their sadzi and pay their
Nobody guarantee you're gonna fail again.
And nobody's guaranteed you're going to pass your test.
Yeah, you can fail again.
You could
and
fail
again.
and you could fall even more. Why make Paltiel go through all that suffering? Yom Kippur, Rabotai, Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is how many days away? 58 days away. We just fasted 24 hours, 25 hours. Another 58 days, we have to fast another 24, 25 hours. Rabotai, Yom Kippur is not... So what am I saying Ana for in Yom Kippur? What am I doing Tikkun for? For what? If I have to come back in the Gilgul anyways, what's the point of Yom Kippur? What's the point of Tikkunim? And more than that, Aharon HaKohen, Ariel, Aharon HaKohen. How many averot did he do in his life? One. He made the egel, right? He didn't even do it. He threw the pas shel zahav inside, and out came the egel. For 40 years, the Midrash says, he went to every single house in Israel, taught their kids, free tuition. He never charged a penny. He taught them Shema Yisrael. He taught them halachot. Kohen Gadol. You think he was not busy? Do you know in the Beit HaMikdash, every Kohen could bring the Ketoret once in his life. Ketoret, you know what Ketoret is? Tori, Vatipor, Mahalbana, the 11 spices. Once in his life he could bring the spices. But Kohen Gadol, if he wants, he can bring it every day. Why Ketoret only once in the life Kohenim could bring? Because Ketoret is for Parnasah. And everybody wanted to do it. But Kohen Gadol could do anything he wants. If he wants to do all the stuff of the day, bring the Korban, he could do it. He's Kohen Gadol. But he didn't do anything, you know that? For 40 years in the desert, Aaron HaKohen didn't bring Ketoret. He didn't bring Korbanot, only on Yom Kippur. Why? Because every day he was going to everybody's house, he was teaching them Torah. He didn't have to send their kids to yeshiva. Aaron HaKohen, free babysitter. Free! Do you know what kind of mitzvah that is? Do kiruv? Rav Chaim Vital says, Hashem Yitbarach takes a person who teaches people Torah. If you tell a person to keep Shabbat and he listens to you, if you tell a person to do Shema Yisrael and he listens to you, if you bring a person closer to Hashem, Rav Chaim Vital quotes a Zohar in Sefer Sha'arei Kedusha, because over there Hashem takes that person, he puts him sitting next to him on his Kisei HaKavod. He says, look at my dmut. Look at my tzeder. This is how I look, Hashem says. Do you know what kind of zechut that is to bring a person closer to Hashem? Once in your life, you make a person keep Shabbat. Once in your life, you bring a person closer to Hashem. You know what Hashem does to you? Do you know what kind of zechut you have? You are the greatest person in the world. You didn't finish Shas. You didn't finish Poskim. You didn't learn the Rishonim. You didn't learn Rashi, Tosfot. You are the greatest person. Aharon did that for 40 years. I would think, what do you think? That one sin that he did, it should have cleaned it up at least. You know what the Ari says? Aharon HaKohen came back not in one Gilgul. 10 Gilgulim he came in. You know what? And the last one was the worst. He came back as Zechariah Kohen. I'm sorry, second to last. He came back in a Kohen called Zechariah. Now look at this irony. Look at this irony. Yes. He came back as a man as a Kohen called Zechariah on Yom Kippur. He stood up in the Beit HaMikdash and he gave everybody tochecha. You guys are Oved Avodah Zarah. You guys are Rishaim.
They killed him.
And they killed him. On Yom Kippur, they killed him and his blood was boiling. You know that guy? The blood was boiling? More than 100 years his blood was boiling until Nebuzaradan didn't kill, Masechet Gitin. We learned it this past Tisha B'Av. It was a huge number, like over 100,000 people. He slaughtered them on that blood. The blood didn't stop. You know who that guy was? Aaron HaKohen. That's Aharon. That Zechariah was Gilgul Aharon. And even then, Aharon HaKohen had to come back one last time. Who? As a Navi called Uriah. Uriah from Kiryat Yearim, and he was slaughtered.
Again.
Yes, by the king Yehoiakim. Why? Because he was giving Nivuah, prophecy, that the Beit HaMikdash is going to be destroyed. Yehoiakim was a very bad king. The Gemara Masechet Sanhedrin says he was such a Rasha. One opinion says that he took the name of Hashem and he tattooed it on his Brit Milah. Just to be mevazeh. How you say mevazeh? To degrade. To degrade God's name. He took God's name and he tattooed it on his Brit Milah. Some say it wasn't God's name, it was the name of Avodah Zarah. The Gemara. It's Machlok, Masechet Sanhedrin. Yehoiakim saw this Kohen Uriah. He's doing prophecy against Beit HaMikdash. He's the king of Israel. He's what? You're making prophecy? He took a sword. He didn't just slaughter it. You know when you cut the meat, you have to...
Rezegi.
Yeah, rezegi. You gotta cut it like that. He took him just to... enjoy it. He was slaughtering with a butcher knife his head. And then Hashem said, Aharon HaKohen, that's it. Now you're good. Whoa. How many gilgulim he had to go through just to fix one amerah? How many teshuvahs do you think Aaron HaKohen did? How many? 40 years. He's going to Yom He said, how many Yom Kippurs did he do? He was the first Kohen Gadol for Yom Kippur. Wasn't enough? On actually, wasn't enough? I think I'm scared. You know, when I read this, I'm scared.
Well, the Hashem asking from Tzedekим to the hair, they're saying.
So
we're not, I mean...
Okay, it's not enough he died like Zachariah. He gotta die also like Uriah. It's crazy, yeah. It's true that Ariya Kadosh says, Aharon HaKohen, he was the Gilgul of Haran, the brother of Avraham Avinu. And because Haran didn't die in Kiddush Hashem with a true Nishma for the sake of Hashem, Aharon HaKohen had to do that. It's true. Okay, but how many times he has to die, the poor guy? Aharon HaKohen and Benayahu ben Yehoyada. You know who Benayahu ben Yehoyada was? The Gilgul of Kalev ben Yefuneh. The general of Shlomo HaMelech. What did he do? When David HaMelech died, David told Shlomo, kill Yoav. You know who Yoav was? The general of David. He single-handedly conquered all of Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim today, where you have a Beit HaMikdash and everything, who conquered that? Yoav. Who conquered Edom? Yoav. Who was Rosh HaSanhedrin? Yoav. Who was the chief general? Okay, Yoav made two mistakes. What was his two mistakes? He killed two other generals, Avner ben Ner, and another one, I think his name was Amasa ben Yeter. He was the nephew of David HaMelech. Also, he killed them because he wanted to be the head general. David HaMelech says, I'm changing the generals. Okay, he made two mistakes. So Shlomo sent Benayahu ben Yehoyada, who was Kohen Gadol and also chief general, says, go kill Yoav because he messed up. Yoav was holding the Mizbeach. You know the Mizbeach in the Mishkan? He said, you can't kill somebody or you can't make them. Benayahu took his sword and he killed him. Hashem said, what? You killed? And how did he kill him? Who told him to kill him? Shlomo HaMelech. And Shlomo HaMelech, who told Shlomo HaMelech to kill him? David HaMelech. David HaMelech was tzaddik, no? He was also Rosh HaSanhedrin. He did according to halakha or no? Yes. Ari said he came back into Gilgul with Yoav. Both Yoav came in a Gilgul and also Benayahu. And now Yoav killed Benayahu. Because he killed him in the previous Gilgul. Now he has to kill him. But he did the correct thing. He did the halakha. And how many Yom Kippurs did he go through? Benayahu. You know who Benayahu ben Yehoyada was? Do you know all of the Ben Ish Chai's books are called after him? Ben Ish Chai is Benayahu's nickname. Ben Ish Chai is Benayahu's nickname. He has a book, Ben Ish Chai has a book, Benayahu. He has a book, Ben Yehoyada. All of them because he was the Gilgul of Benayahu ben Yehoyada, Ben Ish Chai. He was his Gilgul. How many Gilgulim he has to go through just to fix? He did it according to halakha.
So, Yom Kippur doesn't count?
That's my question. That's my question.
Oh.
How come Yom Kippur doesn't? How come it didn't help them Yom Kippur? How many? When we're Yom Kippur, so my wife asked me, what's the harder fast? What do you mean? Tisha B'av or Yom Kippur? I said, listen, for me they're both the same. I don't feel any of them. Because every second that I'm fasting, I'm doing mitzvot aseh, one midoraita and one midraban. I know I'm doing 100,000 mitzvot. I feel good. I feel good. Every second you're fasting, you're doing mitzvot aseh in the Torah. You're not gonna feel happy. You're supposed to be happy in Yom Kippur. But you have a good question. That's our question. How come Yom Kippur doesn't help these guys? And who are we talking about? And I have even a bigger question. How is it? That's my question. Adam Harishon. How many Gilgulim did the poor guy go through? Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, David, Shlomo. 1,000,000 Gilgulim Adam Harishon went through till he got a tikkun. Till today he's going tikkun, the poor guy. Do you know when Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai passed away? Rabbi Shimon, the Gemara Masechet Sukkah says, Rabbi Shimon said, Ra'iti b'nei aliyah. I saw the people who were zoche to be close to Hashem in Shamayim. First row. If there are 100, me and my son are them. If there are 10, me and my son are them. If there are 2, me and my son are them. Rishon Bar Yochai. Before he passed away, in Idrat HaAzinu, Book HaAzinu, Adam Harishon comes to visit him before he dies. Adam Harishon comes to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and Rabbi Shimon says to all of his students, get out of the house. Get out. Get out. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is speaking to Adam Harishon. When the students asked him, what were you speaking about? He said Adam Harishon was too embarrassed to come down here in front of all of you to ask for tikkun. Still then he's embarrassed, Adam Harishon. What did he do? He ate from Etz Hadat. It was predestined. Let's not fool ourselves. It was predestined for him to eat at the Etz Hadat. Till today he still doesn't have a tikkun. I want to answer the question, and the answer is so simple that you guys are going to knock yourselves on the head. How come I didn't think of it? The Gemara says a story. In the time of the Tanaim, there was a Rav, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel. The rule was he was the Nasi. You know what Nasi is? The president, the chief. When he would walk into the room, everybody had to stand up. When he said you could sit down, they would sit. Before that, they couldn't sit. In his time, the chief, the Chacham, you know the Chacham is? The biggest, smartest man was Reb Meir Balanes. When he used to walk inside the room, also, they would stand up until he would say, sit down, they would sit down. And the Av Beddin, the head, the chief Beddin, was Rabbi Natan Abavli, his name was. Rabbi Natan Abavli. Also, when he would walk into the room, until he would say sit down, they wouldn't sit. One day, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel thinks, listen, I'm Nasi, I'm the president. And they're Chacham and Av Beddin. We have to make a difference between us. What's the difference? When I walk in the room, they have to stand up. When I say sit, they sit. Them, the halakha is, I'm going to change the halakha. When they walk in, they stand up and sit down right away. One day, the next day, he says the halakha, and suddenly Rabbi Meir Balanes walks inside the yeshiva. Everybody stands up, and suddenly they're sitting down. He looks around. Why is everyone sitting down? Doesn't understand what happened. Rabbi Natan Bavli walks inside. Everybody says, he asks what happens. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel changed the halakha. Changed the halakha. Rabbi Meir Balanes, he was tough. He goes to Rabbi Natan Bavli. He says, listen, let's get this guy. How? Tomorrow, we're going to ask him a halakha in front of everyone, and he's not going to know the answer. You hear that? They were going to embarrass him in front of everyone. Because they felt they were embarrassed too. And they have the Shulchan Aruch says that Talmid Chacham who doesn't take revenge for his honor, don't go to him. He's not a real Talmid Chacham. The Shulchan Aruch says that. Siman Reish Mem Gimel, I believe. Last halakha. You're there. Talmid Chacham who doesn't take revenge for his good name, he's not a real Talmid Chacham. So what halakha we're going to ask him? Masechet Uktzin. It's halachot of, etrog has a pitom and has a uketz. We're going to ask him halachot in there. And he's not going to know the answers. Nobody learns his halachot. There was a rabbi over there, Tana, his name was Rabbi Yaakov. He said, I don't want him to be embarrassed, he's the Nasi, he felt bad. So he went under his balcony, Rabban Shimon was learning in a balcony, and he opens the book, the halachot of Uktzin, and he starts to learn in a loud way. He had a voice of I say like this, he had loud voice, and you heard him all the way up there. He was learning halachot Yom Tov. I don't know what he was learning over there. He says, how come he's learning loud voice? This must be tomorrow somebody wants to make me something bad. He closes his Gemara. He opens up Masechet Uktzin. Starts to learn. Tomorrow everybody goes to the yeshiva. Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes. He thinks he got him. He's biggest chacham. The Gemara says Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes could have made anything tamen, anything tahor. He was so smart. He gets up. He says, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, Nasi, I have a question for you. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel is laughing inside of him. He thinks he got me, I got him. He asks him a halakha in Masechet Uktzin. He thinks he doesn't know. Suddenly, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel starts to answer all of his questions. Right, left, like a baseball bat, when you go to the batting cage, pa, pa, pa. He deflects all of his questions. Wow. Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes doesn't know what's going on. Then Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel gets up and says, you and you, Rabbi Natan Abavli, you wanted to embarrass me? From today on, you can't come inside the yeshiva. And from today on, any halakha said in your name, no more Rabbi Meir is going to be written in the Gemara. They're going to put Acherim Omrim. Knas. They made him a knas. How do you say knas? I find them. No more you could say halakha in your name. You want to embarrass me? From now on they're going to say Acherim Omrim. The other ones say. It's embarrassing. And Rabbi Natan, they're going to say Yesh Omrim. And they kicked him out of the yeshiva. Yeah, they kicked him out from the yeshiva because he was a Nasi and he caught him. 2 generations pass. Rabbi Yehuda Nasi is telling the story over to his son, also Shimon, after his grandfather, who was Rabban Shimon Gamliel. So his grandson, Rabbi Shimon, tells Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, Rebbe, who's so humble, he says to him, okay, 50 years passed already. He tells his father, let's erase Yesh Omrim, put their names back into the Mishnah. Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes says no. Rabbi Yehuda Nasi says no. When a person hurts another person's feelings, until he doesn't say sorry, I don't have to forgive him. You hear that? When a person hurts another person, they try to destroy Malchut Beit David. They try to bring them down. For what? For standing up, sitting down. Kavod? Okay, yeah, halakha says that you gotta do it, but still, I don't have to forgive them. Until today, if you open up the Gemara, you're gonna see over there, Acherim Omrim, Yesh Omrim. Because Yom Kippur could forgive any Avera. But when you do Avera Ben Adam Lechavero, Yom Kippur doesn't forgive that. Aharon HaKohen, when he made the Avera of Egel HaZahav, was it just between him and Hashem? No. He caused everybody to have death. When Benayahu killed Yoav, 1,000,000 Yom Kippurs could pass, but until Yoav doesn't say, I forgive you, he's not forgiven. Adam Harishon, he caused death. Yeah, he sinned to Hashem, but he also caused death to the whole world. Until the whole world doesn't go to Adam Harishon and says, we forgive you, guess what? He's still gonna come back in that Gilgul. No matter what. Yom Kippur doesn't forget. It's a simple answer, but that's the answer. Ben Adam lechavero. The altar mislabotka. We're gonna end with this. How Natan Tzvi Finkel used to say. Ben Adam lechavero. The most important one is who? The wife. They used to say when the altar of Slabotka, before Yom Kippur, whoever used to see how he used to beg his wife for forgiveness before Yom Kippur, his Yom Kippur would have been like the most magical Yom Kippur. To see the altar of Slabotka go on his knees and not leave his house until his wife used to say, I forgive you, leave me alone already? What used to do already? I forgive you, he would not leave the house. Until she wouldn't say with her mouth, I forgive you, he wouldn't leave the house. Until. Why? Because Ben Adam lechavero, Rabotai. We're right now 58 days away from Yom Kippur. Don't wait till the last day before Yom Kippur to ask people for forgiveness. Whoever starts now is the winner. Whoever starts now. Whoever starts now is the winner. When you come to Yom Kippur on a clean slate, then Hashem is going to forgive your other avarot. May Hashem be zocheos to come into Yom Kippur clean. May Hashem be zocheos lebracha, le'atzlacha. May Hashem be zocheos to a year of chatima tova, bracha, atzah zivugim hagunim, refuah shlema, b'chol med meta, baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.